Hello, my name is Nate Lielasus. I'm a volunteer with Friends of Historic Second Church. We're here at Second Presbyterian Church today on Chicago's South Side to look at Mount of the Holy Cross, this beautiful window behind me. The Mount of the Holy Cross window is one of 9 Tiffany windows in the sanctuary. It was installed here in the church in 1902. The installation of this window came after a devastating fire in 1900 that gutted the sanctuary. The window was an insurance window, and so there was a previous Tiffany window in this location destroyed in the fire, and the insurance company paid for this replacement. Sarah Kellogg, the widow of Charles Kellogg, chose the theme for this window. We're not sure if this window matches the earlier window. Kellogg, who was a clothing manufacturer here in Chicago. At one time, the Kellogg Company was the largest clothing manufacturer west of New York City. Interesting side note, after the Great Chicago Fire, when Second Presbyterian's previous home burned down, the exterior walls remained standing, and Kellogg built a roof over the sanctuary and moved his business into the ruins of the church right after that. Charles Kellogg was in declining health. He traveled extensively to try to improve his health, including to Europe and to Colorado near Mount of the Holy Cross. Unfortunately, he died of consumption in 1883. The theme of the window shows 2 angels looking up through a very steep valley up onto the face of a mountain. And you'll see that the face of the mountain has a white cross inscribed on it. The Mount of the Holy Cross is a real mountain in Colorado. It's one of the 14ers, which means it's one of the mountains in Colorado over 14,000 feet above sea level. It's the 51st tallest of the 53 14ers in Colorado. The cross on the face of the mountain is created by deep clefts in the rock. And in the winter, those fill with snow, and that snow persists into the spring, and so you're left with this stark white cross against the stone face of the mountain. The geological features are actually, the vertical one is a couloir, and that's 1,500 feet tall. And then there's a snow bench that makes the arm of the cross, and that's 750 feet wide. The pilgrim hut was built in the 20s for people making a pilgrimage to the mountain, and they also were drawn to the Bowl of Tears at the basin of the cross, which was where snow melt from the cross formed a lake. Prior to 1873, the mountain was known mostly in folklore from travelers who went out west and came back east to tell their friends and family. In 1873, William Henry Jackson took a famous photo of the mountain that sparked renewed interest. In 1875, Thomas Moran did a famous oil painting of the mountain that's now in the Autry Museum of Western Art. The photograph and the painting were displayed at the 1876 exhibition in Philadelphia. And in that same year, Custer had his last stand at Little Bighorn, which brought a lot of renewed interest and focus on the western United States. In 1929, the mountain was made into a national monument by Herbert Hoover, and in 1933, it was transferred to the National Park Service. With declining visits to the mountain in the 40s and the expense of maintaining the national park there, the National Monument status was rescinded and the mountain was transferred to the Forest Service. In the 1940s as well, several rock slides diminished the representation of the cross on the face of the mountain, so now one of the arms of the cross is no longer visible. While the mountain is not well known today, it is a destination for mountain climbers and for snowboarders, and one of our docents, Margaret Grinnell, actually found some great video of people snowboarding right down the vertical face of that cross. I welcome you to come to Second Presbyterian and see the window for yourself. We have a regular open door tour program, and besides this Tiffany window, we have 8 others to see, as well as many other stained glass windows in the sanctuary and narthex.